Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and hello to all of you. In this video, I'm going to explain on how you can interpret the interaction terms in the corporate governance research. This is the example that I have in hand, where in this regression table, you can see this is basically the result on OLS regression on board diversity and CSR. And you can see in the table the tested variables, gender, education level. This are the component for board diversity, and we're going to look at what will be the influence of board diversity variables towards the firm CSR. The predicted sign here are all positive, which means an increase in gender, for example, will increase the CSR. An increase in educational level will increase the CSR, or corporate social responsibility. Same goes to other variables here. So these are the main variables that I have, and what I'm currently showing you is the main baseline result when you run your OLS regression. Alright, now we move towards the second part of the analysis. That is where you are going to test the interaction terms between your independent variables. Okay, as we can see here, the predicted sign I have developed based on the theory and the literature, and it seems to be very consistent that all of the variables are expected to be positively related to CSR. But once we create the interaction terms, the predicted sign will change, because once we create the interaction terms, we open the possibility that they might have a complementary or substitutive relationship between the interaction terms and CSR. This is because we create the interaction terms because we believe that there is a synergy between variable X and a variable and another variable. For example, we believe that there is a synergy between gender and edu level. So that's why we create an interaction terms between gender and edu level. So that is the main assumption basically. Alright, now we look at how we should interpret the interaction terms. Okay, this is table 5, where I show to you here, I've already created the interaction terms. I choose gender because here we have 7 okay, 7 variables. Thus I use gender as a baseline in creating the interaction terms, because I provide my justification because gender is more widely accepted in terms of regulation in many countries. They have already stressed or imposed several regulations on the minimum required female directors in the board. So that's why I use that as a baseline, or as the main variable that I want to use in my interaction terms. So I create gender and with edu level, for example. Alright, so I create the interaction terms, gender with edu level, gender with tenure, gender with age, gender with nation. And now the predicted sign will now change to positive or negative, positive or negative. Why it happened to be like this? This is because once we create the interaction, it opened the possibility whether there is a complementary or substitutive relationship between the interaction terms and CSR. Okay, so in order to identify whether complementary or substitutive relationship occur in the interaction terms, I refer to a paper by Oh et al. Later on, I will put the reference in the description, where it is a complementary in case we found a positive relationship. Okay, so when there is a positive relationship between gender and edu level, when it is positive, then we assume that both of them, they have a complementary relationship. But in the case we found a negative relationship, it means that they are substitutive each other. Okay, so as you can see here, some variables, gender and edu level, seems to be, this is a complementary relationship, while this is a negative findings, which means this is a substitutive relationship. Okay. Alright, now how we are going to interpret this result? Okay, since we have this negative or positive, how we can understand this finding? This finding means, I take this example, gender and edu level is 0.35 is significant and is positive, which means in the presence of gender in the board, the existence of edu level in the board will increase the CSR. Okay, in the presence of gender in the board, the appointment of edu level, the existence of edu level in the board will increase the CSR. That's what I mean by complementary relationship. Means when they are together, they can increase the CSR. If we refer to the substitutive relationship here, for example, gender, you generate the interaction terms gender with age, and it is negative here. Okay, which means in the presence of gender in the company, the existence of age will reduce the CSR. Okay, in the presence of gender in the company, the existence of age will reduce the CSR, which means this variable age in the presence of gender, it basically reduces CSR, which means that they are substitutive each other. Alright, that's all for my explanation about how to interpret interaction terms in corporate governance studies. Thank you and bye-bye.